assuming that they don't want to trade any of those young cores, it would be Rubio's expiring contract and draft picks. Let's take a look at these draft picks because the Cavs do have their own first-round pick. They also have Houston's second-round pick. They currently have the third worst record, so that would be the third pick in the second round. They also have the Spurs pick, and the Spurs, I believe, are currently the seventh. That would be the seventh pick in the first round. Remember, you can't trade first-round picks in back-to-back years and all that good stuff. But those are the draft picks that the Cavs have. We've heard that the Pacers want 2 first-round picks for Caris LeVert, a guy that we've talked about being intriguing. You think it's kind of a game of poker, or is it, hey, look, this Rockets pick in the second round is just like a first-round pick. So we'll give you our first and that Rockets that's third in the. Is that the kind of thing that's going on now with Kobe Altman and GMs? Do you think?
Without question, you start high when you're the GM of the Pacers. Kevin Pritchard, a great guy. You always start high and say, "This is what we want. We're not going to budge off of it." And eventually you budge because then you realize, well, no one's really going to give us 2 first-round picks for Caris LeVert at this point. So. You aim high and then you come down. It's just like any other type of negotiation. And that's why if you're the Cavs and Kobe Altman, that's why you stockpile these second rounders, as Kobe Altman has done over the years. And for one, a lot of teams don't want their first round pick, especially toward the end of the first round, because when you have a first round pick, that means you're guaranteeing somebody a salary for 3 years. Whereas if you draft 31st or, after that, you don't have to guarantee anybody's money. You can sign your number 31 pick to whatever kind of deal you like. And, a lot of times we see those second round picks get 3-year deals with the first year or half of the first year guaranteed, and that's it. So, that's where those second round picks come in handy. Those teams who want to move out of the first round that don't want to guarantee a salary, they will take 2 of your second round picks to move out. You either get their first round pick or a player or something along those lines. I do think that the Cavs will have to, and I think they'd be okay with it, trading their first rounder in 2022, whether it's to get Caris LeVert or some of these other names we've heard, Terrence Ross, Gary Harris from the Magic. Any of those names are probably going to cost you your first round pick. And that's okay. I mean, the Cavs have had their fill of first rounders these past 4 or 5 years.
Do you also see them adding a second guy, almost like a, Dennis Schroeder or someone that they can use that exemption, the hardship exemption that they got from Ricky Rubio as well? So maybe bring in 2 guys?
Yeah, they could most certainly bring in 2 guys. They're kind of up against it when it comes to the salary cap. Obviously, moving Rubio would help that a little bit, at least going into next season. But I mean, it wouldn't be a big surprise to see them bring in 2 guys. Now, whether that's one via trade and then, either calling up somebody from the G League who's had a good run there, a veteran type player. We've seen what the Indiana Pacers have done with Lance Stevenson, who was playing in the G League. They brought him up. He's been a veteran presence for them. And if the Cavs can find somebody like that, they don't have to make a second trade. I think that they are pretty intent on making at least one deal in which they will go out and get some more backcourt scoring from a veteran proven player. But I also think that there are other routes to go, whether that's on the, following the buyout market in March or the G League, as I just said, a veteran in the G League, or a veteran who's currently out there who hasn't been signed. We've got a whole list of them on HoopsWire by position, and there's about 50 guys who have good NBA experience that potentially could be signed, either to a non-guaranteed deal, a 10-day deal, something along those lines. So, that way you can not mortgage the farm and break up what's working and still go find help. And that's really their mission as we head into trade deadline week.